Attention, brace yourselves. Captain Kern commands the floor, battling for justice, bringing down the house with force. In the shadows of the city where the lights dim low, Captain Kern steps out ready to blow, with a heart made of steel and fists to match. Enemies shudder when they catch his dispatch. He's a knight in the night, rolling deep. Just a sword he's sworn to keep. Captain Kern, he's on the fight, battling wrongs, upholding right. In the streets, he's a justice spree. Captain Kern, the hero we need. Never backs down, he's on the front line, facing the evils that intertwine. Corruption's fine, stripping the streets. He tears them down with lyrical beats. A vigilante with a badge of honor, burns the storm, chaos has got her. Boom, boom, hear the thunder roll. Captain Kern's on patrol, rights the wrongs, breaks the chains. In his world, justice reigns. Captain Kern, he's on the fight, battling wrongs, upholding right. In the streets, he's a justice spree. Captain Kern, the hero we need. From the depths of despair, he rises high, a beacon of hope under the night sky. Enemies fear when his name is called, a symbol of power unappalled. With every step, he claims the land, justice delivered by his commanding hand. So when you're lost and the night draws near, remember Captain Kern, let out a cheer. For justice, for truth, for the right. He's the guardian of the city's light. Hardcore rhythm fading out, justice served, no doubt.
Well, good morning, everybody. Going about half hour early here. So, I'm not sure what to make of everything this from yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and start the stream off and apologize for yesterday morning's stream. I probably should not have streamed due to my meds messing with me and me being loopy as shit. And I took a lot of things personally that I shouldn't have. And there was nothing to take personally. That was the stupid part. My brain just flat out did not function. Slowly getting used to those meds right now. It's just slowly. So yesterday morning or afternoon, we found out Donald Trump got convicted. All counts, found guilty, no dissenters in the jury pool. Now, I want everybody to sit back and think about that before we get into any of the news stories. Just think about common sense. All counts, no dissenters. All counts, no dissenters. That is completely unheard of, even in New York City. Even in New York City, it's completely unheard of. I'm just an absolute shock and awe, and I just cannot fathom what the hell happened, other than the fact that it was rigged from the beginning. We all knew it was rigged, honestly. But I never figured that there was going to be 12 jurors that would literally put their lives at risk to convict Trump. And the reason I say this is there are a lot of nut jobs out on the planet right now, both on the far right and on the far left. And you don't think that those jurors need to go into protective custody and hide for like the next 10 years? You got something coming. Just common sense alone is going to state to you up here in the brain that there is something severely wrong with this entire scenario. And we already know that it will come down to the appeals. And I mean, the judge threw out a set of jury instructions that are blatantly unconstitutional. Even CNN said that they are not lawful jury orders. The New York Times, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, all of them, all the major news media. This is the one thing I was just totally shocked on. I have hair in my damn underneath my glasses. All of the major news media came out and said, no, this is not happening. What is going on here? The judge literally in his jury instructions said, look, I don't know what we're going to convict him of, but just find something in this list. And only 4 of you got to actually be, right on it. So, 4 out of 12. That's not even half. But instead, what did we get? We got a unanimous jury decision on all counts. Are you absolutely bonkers? Can we say bought and paid for jury? Now, we are going live a little bit earlier, so I can chit-chat and give everybody the newsy news of updates about me, what's going on with my family, the storm damage, all that good stuff, before we get to the big scoops of the day, which honestly is the Donald Trump conviction. Now, Donald Trump says at 11 a.m. Eastern, he will be going live to do a speaking announcement. Good morning, Tammy. Had to stop in. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. So Donald Trump will be live at 11 a.m. and we will be broadcasting that as well, making sure to pop in and do our commentary on what he says. And like I said, I don't care if you will like Trump or not. Like I said, I am not a Republican anymore. I am not a Democrat any longer. I am a constitutional American, period. That's what I call myself now, constitutional American. I follow the law, the letter of the law. And in this case, in New York City, the law was not followed. As a matter of fact, that justice made up his own shit. You hate getting up at 4 a.m.? God, I have been up since 2. So it's been 6 hours that I've been awake now. Couldn't sleep last night. My dogs were, I have this tiny last little hair coming off my head. It's getting right underneath my glasses and tickling my eyes. But last night, my dogs, we had a storm pass through, just a regular thunder bumper, and my dogs hate thunder. God, did they hate it. And the 2 that sleep in the bedroom with us, my dog and my wife's dog, they went ape shit. And I'm talking serious ape shit last night. They would not leave us alone. I was beyond frustrated. I got about 2 hours of sleep and then about an hour of sleep after about an hour and a half of being awake, and then 2 hours of being awake after that, and then an hour. I think my CPAP machine said I actually had a total time of about 4 hours of sleep last night, and I went to bed at 7 p.m. Well, I actually laid down at 6 because my meds were messing with me. I fell asleep at 7, woke up again for like 45 minutes, and then went back to bed at like 8:45, 9 o'clock. And I just couldn't stay asleep because the damn dogs. My wife's dog she'll paw you whenever she's like antsy. And she has the sharpest damn claws ever. No matter how we file them off, it's just boof. Oh, it's all right, Tammy. It's okay. I'm good. And hugs to you as well. I mean, it's just what it is, how it is, when it is. And we're just doing a little pregame show here before everything goes down, because I am legitimately concerned at this point in time. I forgot to turn the LEDs on, guys. Oh, stand by. Come on. Oh, and we're gonna have to check into the AOC comments because, yeah, I can't help but listen to her stupidity. And poof. Hello, poof. There we go. Now we have the lights. And let's just turn those to... That is like stupidly bright today. Let's turn those down just a little bit. There we go. A little bit of a teal blue for my daughter. That was her favorite color. I'm a big partial guy to purple and magentas and stuff like that, black. And my daughter was teal, black, and camo. She loved camo, man. It's like every time I'd go to go to Cabela's, online or something, she's like, "Can I have that, Dad? Can I have that?" And it'd be like camo, 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 camo. She was a real girly girl, but she also loved her camo. You swear to God, she was raised on Duck Dynasty. Oh, shit, she was. Greatest show ever. And, yeah, I'm actually going to be looking for Phil Robertson's commentary on this conviction because we all know Phil is going to have something to say. And I looked earlier today, and he doesn't have anything out there yet. Tammy says up at 4 at let me put that up on screen, damn it. Up at 4 left at 4:45, walked to the hospital. Why did you walk to the hospital? Jesus. For the MRI, and then my adoptive mother came and picked me up and came home and invited me over for pancakes. Oh God, that sounds delicious. I'm not a pancake fan, but I am a huge blueberry pancake fan. I love blueberry pancakes. And banana pancakes, oh my God. If you use those overripe bananas in banana pancakes, it is so delicious. With some real maple syrup and real butter, no fucking margarine, no fructose syrups. Oh God, maple syrup, oh, it's so good. Uh, Refined cane sugar syrup is actually really good too. Not sugar beet syrup, cane sugar. And a lot of stores don't carry that because it is like you have like a tablespoon of that stuff and you were bouncing off the walls for like 6 months. Oh, nothing running in for transportation. No, I gotcha. I gotcha. That kind of blows. I mean, we have County Express here, so I can make a phone call with 72 hours notice and say, "Hey, I need a ride to here." And even if it's only 3 blocks away, they will come pick me up, charge it to my insurance, and take me there. I don't have to pay for it. So once we get a little bit closer to time here, I actually put out a new song this morning. I think you all are going to enjoy it. As a matter of fact, Tammy, since you may or may not be here a little bit later, I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. You get to be one of the first people to, actually hear this. Oh, God! Did you see that white screen? It just blinded the living crap out of me. Damn. Uh, what the hell just happened? Why was that muted? I have no idea why that was muted. Why is this on? Okay, there's some weird stuff going on. Let me go ahead and share this. It is up on the YouTube channel, everybody. Please do me a favor. Hit the like and subscribe if you are just joining that. But we're going to go ahead and play this video right quick. And we'll be playing it a couple times throughout stream because I think I did a damn good job. I spent 2 hours this morning working on this. So let's play this since Tammy may or may not be here and get the world premiere of No Justice, A Trump Life.
Yo, it's Captain Curran, back on the beat. Talking about a travesty, justice ain't sweet. In the city of dreams where the skyline's gritty, Trump got convicted, New York City. Election interference, man, it's all a scam. Corrupt judge on the stand, they don't give a damn. Prosecution crooked, they playing their games. Paid off jurors, ain't nobody sane. They say justice blind, but I see through the lies. Courtroom drama got the publicized. Behind closed doors, dirty deals get struck. Ain't no fair trial, man, we all stuck. Captain Curran on the mic, I'm calling it out. Corruption in the system, that's what it's about. Justice for the people, we need it right now. Stand up, speak loud, we ain't taking no bow. Election interference, it's a power play. Manipulate the votes, they control the day. Fake news media, they spin the tale. Truth gets buried, justice set to fail. In the courtroom, lies stacking high. Prosecutors smirking, ain't no reason why. Trump in the center taking all the heat, while the real villains, they don't miss a beat. Corrupt judge smiling, pockets getting fat. Backroom deals, they tip their hat. Paid off jurors nodding, verdicts in sight. Justice ain't served, it's a fixed fight. Captain Curran on the mic, I'm calling it out. Corruption in the system, that's what it's about. Justice for the people, we need it right now. Stand up, speak loud, we ain't taking no bow. The city streets to the courthouse steps. Truth's a casualty, justice slept. We gotta rise up, break these chains, expose the lies and the games. Silence us, keep us in the dark, but Captain Curran's here, igniting that spark. We see the corruption, we see the deceit. Time to take a stand, we ain't facing defeat. Election interference, dirty money flows. Behind those walls, only the wicked knows. Trump's conviction, a smoke and mirror show in the heart of the city where shadows grow. Captain Curran on the mic, I'm calling it out. Corruption in the system, that's what it's about. Justice for the people, we need it right now. Stand up, speak loud, we ain't taking no bow. So here we are, standing tall against the corruption, breaking the wall with Captain Curran. We lead the fight for truth and justice day and night. Breaking the wall with Captain Curran. We lead the fight for truth and justice day and night.
As you all know, I am a huge advocate for justice inside the United States. The incidents that I've had to go through in my own life have forged me into a hardened justice warrior. And there are so many misuses of justice as well as misses of justice inside the United States right now due to political bias on each side of the aisle, on a per judge, per district, per city, county, state basis. That we need a complete overhaul of this system, and we need justices to swear an oath that they will not input their own bias into any case when it comes to politics. I don't care if you're a hardcore liberal. I don't care if you're a hardcore Democrat. There are the difference, by the way. I don't care if you're a hardcore Republican or right-winger or Trumper. It doesn't matter to me. The extremes on both sides of the aisle need to fucking go away. We have had too much of this nonsense, ladies and gentlemen, to deal with in the last 4 years. Well, technically, since I'll be honest, since 2016. It has been absolutely maddening. The Democrats, they've hated Trump since the beginning because he was not a politician. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you. Oh, I am not changing a thing with that song. I spent an hour and a half writing the lyrics for that, throwing it into AI, and going through about 15 revisions before I found the style, the beat, the rhythm, the instrumentation, and everything that I wanted. Because I go through all those prompts, and I've learned all these prompts with AI music, since I cannot play music myself at the moment. When the fuck do I have an appointment at my doctor at June 4th at 8:30? Shit, I don't know. I'll have to find out. But anyway, I've gone through, and I'm learning. I'm still learning AI, especially AI music, AI video, and so forth like that. I have not had time to play with AI video because it takes forever to render that shit. But with AI music, it has been just an absolute fun, beautiful time learning how to write music again. And, uh, you know, so far I've been able to do everything from country to rap to southern rock to heavy metal, death metal, you name it. And I'm enjoying every single freaking moment of it. But everything I write that has lyrics is going to have meaning, whether it's memeing something or like this video. And or like my Memorial Day tribute video that you guys see when you come onto the channel. You know, it is that is the basis of my what I want my musical experience to be, other than instruments. The music that I'm publishing is just instruments. It's acoustics, it's electronic. You know, there's no vocals, instrumentals only, and it's all chill music. Because with especially with the conditions I just found out, I'm like, damn, I actually need to chill a lot. And today's going to be interesting because I'm going to try to stay as calm as possible. If I don't and I stroke out, you guys know why. I have a blockage in my artery, so my yeah, maybe that's why they want to see me at 8:30 in the morning. I don't know. It's gonna be fun, I tell you that. Hey, by the way, everybody, we do have a new windshield for the Jeep coming today. I don't know when they're coming. They said they're going to call me about 10 minutes ahead of time. I will probably get some pictures up of that. If it's during stream, I'm just going to let them do what they do because, yeah, they don't need me hovering over them. I used to be that guy that would hover over anybody repairing anything on my property. You know, hey, man, is that electrical line supposed to go there? You know, that type of shit. Hey, you need to put a 90 on that elbow. That plump, that you know, that water line's gonna break. Yeah, that was me 10 years ago. Anymore, it's like, fix it. I don't care. I'll see it later. I got other crap to do. Speaking of other crap to do, guys, it is 8:30 my time. 10:30. It's 8:33. We got about 11 or 12 minutes until the show was actually supposed to start, and we got about just under a half hour until Trump goes live with his press conference. So in the meantime, we're just going to pop the chat overlay up onto the side of the screen here, and I'm just going to ramble on like a moron. Let's go ahead and let's see. Let's take some other stuff here. Let's look at some funny things at the moment because I enjoy funny things, and they keep our blood pressure down. Temu says, I added an item to my cart that is running out of stock. And you know those little things you put on your head that has all the fingers? Yeah, that's what it was. It was 89 cents, and they have like 50 other listings of them, so I don't care. But this is absolute gold.
That is an actual billboard in somewhere, Wisconsin. I will keep it nameless.
Dumb and Dumber. Absolutely. Oh God, I accidentally closed the window. That's just too sad. I didn't even do my hair this morning. I went and took a shower real quick, and I blow dried it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go on stream early because today's gonna need some extra attention. It's gonna need some extra attention, chat. You know, and I hope you guys agree with me on that. It's interesting. Ooh. I've been following this for a while. I know Shizzy was actually starting on this last night before I actually laid down and passed out for a little while. But apparently the budget meeting last night in Thornton, Illinois, was canceled because of the investigation into Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. I will let Shizzy, since that is his gig, he's starting on that. I will let him actually do the detail on that. I'll make sure he gets this this video. That's fascinating. And let's just do this here, because this is the type of shit. We all know that this was election interference, and this is how we know. Let me reshare the screen, because I'm an idiot.
Well, the White House had little to say about that verdict, but the Biden-Harris campaign is using the
Hey,
to
Miss
convince
Squid.
voters to keep Trump
How are
out
you
of
today?
the Oval Office. Our
Hope
DC
you are
Bureau Chief
doing
Ben Kennedy
well.
is in Washington with the reaction to that verdict.
Good morning. The Biden campaign seized on this
Captain.
moment, saying no one is above the law and that Trump is a threat to democracy.
Yes, Trump is okay. I want to put it. The Biden team has it absolutely correct. Trump is an absolute threat to democracy, because the United States is not a feckin' democracy. It's a constitutional republic. Meh. Yeah, outside with the little. Oh man, I hope it's a nice day. We had a lot of rain last night, so and we're supposed to get a lot of rain today, and my windshield's supposed to be replaced today, so I'm thinking the windshield repairman's going to have a lot of fun.
Thursday, with his campaign reacting to the historic verdict against his GOP rival, releasing a statement in part that Donald Trump has always mistakenly believed he would never face consequences for breaking the law for his own personal gain. But today's verdict does not change the fact that the...
Stop. When I say stop, you stop. And Donald Trump will never face these consequences because there are no consequences. I mean, come on, folks. The state of New York essentially turned a misdemeanor that every businessman in the entire United States has made, whether with their knowledge or without their knowledge, into a felony. Travesty.
The American people face a simple reality. There is still only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office: at the ballot box.
It's 80
The real
degrees.
verdict
Oh
is
my
gonna
God.
be November 5th by the people.
The former commander-in-chief will be the Republican nominee for president, as his party remains united behind him, with Speaker Mike Johnson, who visited Trump at the Manhattan courthouse, calling...
So on appeal, if we get a decent appellate judge, if Trump actually, I should say, gets a decent appellate judge, it will be thrown out on appeal based on the facts alone, not just the jury instructions, because they were illegal, unconstitutional, and all that good crap. Yeah, Southeast Georgia, and you guys are getting some serious storms lately. It's like, all that water coming in off of the Gulf and just passing over the state. Oof, it's not fun. But the entire trial was a sham. Cynthia, you're here. Awesomeness. We started stream a little bit early because I was bored. And I just needed to get on and chat and do a few things early. If you guys can't tell, the meds are still messing with me in a serious manner. But I'm not like stupid brain loopy today. I'm hyper as hell, which makes it a perfect combination to run a stream with. But so the entire process from day one in court to yesterday was a sham. It was a kangaroo court. It was bought and paid for by the Democratic National Party, the Democrat, let me say that again, the Democrat National Party, and George Soros. And I'm not even allowing it to screw with my blood pressure. And it's not even because it's Trump, guys. I don't care if it's Trump or not. It's a travesty to the American judicial system. If you guys know me by now, I am a stickler for the law. And stand by. I think I uploaded something for smartass comments. Maybe. I don't know.
Name my dog 5 Miles, so I can tell everyone I walk 5 miles every day.
I named my dog Awesome, so I can tell everyone that I'm fucking awesome every day.
What the fuck?
I also ran over 5 miles.
So, yeah, now that you're all stunned into silence, we're going to have to bring some brevity into it as well, because we can't just stay mad. We all knew this was coming. I mean, if anybody said, "Oh, I didn't expect Trump to actually get convicted," I knew it. Anybody with common sense knew it, because guess what? It's New York. The jurors themselves were bought and paid for. The judge, the prosecution, all bought and paid for. And this is why I said earlier in Shizzy's stream that, ouch, damn it. Yeah, it's New York. That the jurors, those 12 individuals, have got to be the absolute dumbest people on the face of the earth. To come out unanimously on all counts with no dissenters at all, to come out unanimously guilty on all counts, I'm telling you right now, those are the dumbest people on earth, that they need to go into the Federal Witness Protection Program, because somebody will leak their information. And I don't advocate violence. I am not advocating for this whatsoever. I'm just stating a fact of what will happen. There are crazies in the world. We all know this, on both the right and the left in the United States. Oh, they were probably threatened. But here's the thing. Because it was a unanimous decision on all counts. That's the strange part. When have you ever heard that? Even in a murder trial, you're never going to get all counts. That just doesn't make sense. Because there's always something that can be argued against. So, and the jury instructions didn't even say that had to be unanimous. Right? We all read those jury instructions. But because there was a unanimous decision on all counts, every one of those jurors needs to go into federal protection, because what's going to happen is their names and everything will get leaked somehow. I don't advocate for this. I am not advocating for it. I don't advocate for violence. I'm going to say it repeatedly so I don't get struck down by YouTube. There's going to be some nut job, either on the right or the left, that is going to give that jury pool a whole new meaning to hung jury. They put their lives at risk over a political ideology, and they think they won, but what they really did is they lost. Because this just made Trump a martyr towards every New York businessman. He took one for the team, and he will appeal it, and he will win. These things I can guarantee, because if you follow the law, the letter of the law, right down the line, that whole trial was a sham. Alvin Bragg should be put in jail for that. The judge should be put in jail. The assistant prosecutors should be put in jail. All of their expert witnesses should be put in jail. Michael Cohen should be shot, quartered, and buried in a shallow grave to be eaten by coyotes. Because he's a pathological liar, and he is on record. He went to prison for lying. And this was their star witness. And the jury bought it? Come on. Everybody's got more common sense than that. I talked to liberals last night before I went to bed, and these are people that I know well that are fairly moderate Democrats and liberals. And even they know this was bullshit. And because of this incident, go look at Twitter today. There are liberals and Democrats popping out all over the world saying, we will not vote for Biden because of this. It ain't happening. I mean, they lost faith in the Democrat Party. Why do I keep saying Democratic? It's probably because the news has been pushing that down our throats. Democratic Party. No, Democrat Party. And the United States is not a democracy. Stop saying it. All major news media, all politicians, including the Republicans, stop saying it. It's a lie. The United States is a constitutional republic. Well, thank you, Squid. I appreciate you being here. And if you can't stick around, do me a favor. Check out the music video I put out today. You will enjoy it. So, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by. Oh. Big hugs to Squid Procore, everybody. Do yourself a favor. Go follow Squid on the YouTubes. She's funny, and she's got a funny little mini squid that likes to ban people in chat and turn off live streams and all sorts of other fun stuff. It's a hoot. Gotta love her. Oh my. This is actually the first. Oh my gosh. This hair is driving me bonkers. Hold on, chat. My hair is so fine that, damn it. I think I got it. I think that took care of it right there. We'll find out. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, I don't have this hair going straight through my glasses. It's just blah. So, that said, everybody, we're going to play my new song once again. We're going to play this about every 15 to 20 minutes because these are my lyrics thrown on to my choice and my instructions to AI, Suno AI for music. I wrote these lyrics in about an hour and a half. So let's take a listen. You guys are going to love this. There we go. Let's share tab instead. And do me a favor, hit a video over there, and here I'm going to post this in the chat. Give me a like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, by the way, on this live and as well as the video here. Let's play it.
Yo, it's Captain Curran, back on the beat. Talking about a travesty, justice ain't sweet. In the city of dreams where the skyline's gritty, Trump got convicted, New York City. Election interference, man, it's all a scam. Corrupt judge on the stand, they don't give a damn. Prosecution crooked, they playing their games. Paid off jurors, ain't nobody sane. They say justice blind, but I see through the lies. Courtroom drama got the public's eyes. Behind closed doors, dirty deals get struck. Ain't no fair trial, man, we all stuck. Captain Curran on the mic, I'm calling it out. Corruption in the system, that's what it's about. Justice for the people, we need it right now. Stand up, speak loud, we ain't taking no bow. Election interference, it's a power play. Manipulate the votes, they control the day. Fake news media, they spin the tale. Truth gets buried, justice set to fail. In the courtroom, lies stacking high. Prosecutors smirking, ain't no reason why. Trump in the center taking all the heat, while the real villains, they don't miss a beat. Corrupt judge smiling, pockets getting fat. Backroom deals, they tip their hat. Paid off jurors nodding, verdicts in sight. Justice ain't served, it's a fixed fight. Captain Curran on the mic, I'm calling it out. Corruption in the system, that's what it's about. Justice for the people, we need it right now. Stand up, speak loud, we ain't taking no bow. The city streets to the courthouse steps. Truth's a casualty, justice slept. We gotta rise up, break these chains, expose the lies and the games. Silence us, keep us in the dark, but Captain Curran's here, igniting that spark. We see the corruption, we see the deceit. Time to take a stand, we ain't facing defeat. Election interference, dirty money flows. Behind those walls, only the wicked knows. Trump's conviction, a smoke and mirror show in the heart of the city where shadows grow. Captain Curran on the mic, I'm calling it out. Corruption in the system, that's what it's about. Justice for the people, we need it right now. Stand up, speak loud, we ain't taking no bow. So here we are, standing tall against the corruption, breaking the wall. With Captain Curran, we lead the fight for truth and justice day and night.
Cynthia, that is an awesome idea.
Standing tall against the corruption, breaking the wall. With Captain Curran, we lead the fight for truth and justice day and night.
So yeah, that's my new song. That is called No Justice, A Trump Life. And it is Creative Commons licensed. Feel free to use it on your streams, in your car, wherever. As a matter of fact, as soon as my windshield gets fixed, I think I'm going to take Cynthia's idea, and my Jeep has a factory sound system that is beyond badass. I think I'm going to have my wife just drive me around town bumping that. And then when people ask me where to get it, I'm going to tell them, go up to YouTube. Or I'll airdrop them an MP3 of it. Or, wait. Androids don't have airdrop. What do they have? I don't remember what they have. Something like that. Oh, that said, we are just a few short minutes away, and let's share this right here. This is my dude, JD Delay, and
a felon be the president of the United States? Yes, they can. They might not be able to vote for themselves just depending on which state they choose as their residency. But there is absolutely nothing that says that you cannot be the president of the United States of America if you are a felon. So will Trump be able to vote for himself in the 2024 election? That all depends, and I'll show you why. It all depends on the state of your residency and where you're registered to vote out of. See these dookie brown orange states?
JD is a convicted felon, and he's a reformed convicted felon. He was a drug dealer for the most part. He's a really awesome guy. You shall give him a follow if you haven't, because he's hilarious.
If you're a felon and you live in any of these states, you will never be able to vote again. Mar-Lago is in Florida, so if that's where he's based out of, then it's a big heh. If he registered in New York, they can vote as soon as you're out of prison. It doesn't matter if you're on probation or parole. The second that you step out of prison, your voting rights are restored. But if he gets house arrest and he's on house arrest in the state of New York, he would not be allowed to vote for himself. Like you can see, I'm in the state of Oregon, which means that I can vote even if I'm still on probation. Can a felon be the president?
So there you go. From one felon to now a new one. Yes, most likely he will be able to vote for himself, depending on how things roll with that. So let's see. We are waiting. Where in the world did I put that? Yeah, isn't that funny? Well, it depends. Like I said, you can't vote depending on where you are and what the restrictions you are. Now, and there also is now. I found out this yesterday. There is a huge difference if you are federally prosecuted as a felon and if you are state prosecuted as a felon. Because even with that, the judge can actually set stipulations of which rights you do lose. At least temporarily until your appeal goes through and you win it, and then you fucking sue the shit out of the state of New York. So I'm looking for stuff that I can't seem to find. I'm telling you. All right. Here we go. Waiting for this conference to start. We got about 2 minutes. We got about 2 minutes here until Trump decides to speak. So we're just going to sit here and wait for the man to come out. I do have the occasional tidbit of knowledge. I don't pretend to be a lawyer by any means, but yeah, just like all of us, we have our little tidbits of wisdom. Well, anybody that's old enough to actually remember when we were taught knowledge instead of bullshit. So while we wait here, just give you guys an update of what's happening. Apparently, I have a doctor's appointment on the 4th. I have one on the 7th, and then I also start school on the 10th. So it's going to be an interesting week and a half next week. And I possibly have even more appointments for doctor stuff because I'm supposed to get that CT, MRI, and aortic ultrasound. You do you, Tammy. Take care. If you need sleep, you need sleep. That's cool. We all know how that is. We are all screwed up on medications one way or the other. Like yesterday, I shouldn't have been streaming. And literally the moment I got off, I passed out. I was asleep within minutes after laying down. My body just crapped out. And yes, chat, if you can, 10 days ago, the storms that came through my town, little Yuma, Colorado, devastated our town, devastated my home. And sadly, I don't have homeowners insurance like many of us in this town. And I don't have the funds to repair my house. So I am man enough to reach out and ask you all for a little help. The Give Send Go is actually in chat. It is GiveSendGo /Garing Rebuild, and it should be Garing Repair. but I used rebuild. I'm not sure why. So, it is what it is. We can only do what we can with the resources that we can, but there are things that I am sourcing that are cheap and inexpensive. That's the reason I'm only trying to raise 15,000. We're at just about $1,100 of that, and I'm not going to give any sob stories or anything like that. I mean, it is what it is. And my family needs help, and I was told, reach out, people will help you. And so far, I have been very blessed that people are helping. And I know times are hard, and I know payday is literally today for a lot of people. So if you can give 5, 10, whatever, if we can get 100 people today to donate $5, that's $5,000, guys. No, that's $500. No, it's 5,000. That's 5,000, right? Don't ask me to do math. Math is a bad thing right now for me. I mean, I am fairly sane right now, even though my head is super speedy over these new medications I'm on. But math would be a bad thing. I don't need to do numbers. Looks like Trump is going to be a little bit late here. That or somebody was listening to me in that audience and started laughing their ass off. So, Cynthia, I've had other people tell me that. My mother's told me that as well. And I have advocated this for decades now. Even when I was in high school, I have advocated that in order to graduate high school, you have to take a civics exam. Just like any immigrant into the United States, you have to take a civics exam to graduate high school. That to me is the one thing that makes more sense than anything, because you listen to these reporters that do the on the street, questioning of these people and ask them basic questions about the United States and our Constitution and and the basic laws of our nation and what your civic responsibilities are, and they got no clue. And these are supposed college educated individuals. I saw one the other day. It was a reporter, one of those on the street reporters, and he comes up to this guy, smart looking, dressed, type guy. He's a senior at Brown. Senior, I want you guys to take that. He's a senior law student at Brown. Could not name the first 10 amendments of our Constitution. He could name the first and the second, but he couldn't give valid definitions of what either one were for. This is a damn law student. I wish I could play that one for you guys, but I can guarantee I get copy struck from it. But yeah, I sit back and I go, what happened to our nation? See, they're talking again. These people won't shut the hell up. You, over at the Trump, thing here, shut up. I'm talking. I'm the host here. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, Germinators.
Thank you very much, everybody. This is a case where if they can do this to me, they can do this to anyone. These are bad people. These
I'm going to mute
in
so
many
we can
cases,
take a listen.
I believe, sick people. When you look at our country, what's happening, where millions and millions of people are flowing in from all parts of the world, not just South America, from Africa, from Asia, from the Middle East. and they're coming in from jails and prisons, and they're coming in from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're coming in from all over the world into our country. And we have a president and a group of fascists that don't want to do anything about it, because they could right now, today, he could stop it. But he's not. They're destroying our country. Our country is in very bad shape, and they're very much against me saying these things. They want to raise your taxes by 4 times. They want to stop you from having cars with their ridiculous mandates that make it impossible for you to get a car or afford a car, but make it very possible for China to build all of our cars. It's a very serious problem that we have. We just went through one of many experiences where we had a conflicted judge, highly conflicted. There's never been a more conflicted judge. Now, I'm under a gag order, which nobody's ever been under. No presidential candidate's ever been under a gag order before. I'm under a gag order, nasty gag order, where I've had to pay thousands of dollars in penalties and fines and was threatened with jail. Think of it. I'm the leading candidate. I'm leading Biden by a lot, and I'm leading the Republicans to the point where that's over. So I'm the leading person for president, and I'm under a gag order by a man that can't put 2 sentences together, given by a court, and they are in total conjunction with the White House and the DOJ, just so you understand. This is all done by Biden and his people.
I love it.
Maybe his people, more importantly. I don't know if Biden knows too much about it, because I don't know if he knows about anything. But he's nevertheless the president, so we have to use his name. And this is done by Washington, and nobody's ever seen anything like it. So we have a judge who's highly conflicted. You know what the confliction is. Nobody wants to write about it, and I'm not allowed to talk about it. If I do, he said, I get put in jail. So we'll play that game a little bit longer. We won't talk about it, but you're allowed to talk about it. I hope you do, because there's never been anybody so conflicted as this. As far as the trial itself, it was very unfair. We weren't allowed to use our election expert under any circumstances. You saw what happened to some of the witnesses that were on our side. They were literally crucified by this man who looks like an angel, but he's really a devil. He looks so nice and soft. People say, oh, he seems like such a nice man. No, unless you saw him in action. And you saw that with a certain witness that went through hell. And when we wanted to do things, he wouldn't let us do those things. But when the government wanted something, they got everything. They got everything they wanted. It was a rigged trial. We wanted a venue change where we could have a fair trial. We didn't get it. We wanted a judge change. We wanted a judge that wasn't conflicted. And obviously he didn't do that. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We had a DA who was a failed DA. Crime is rampant in New York, violent crime. That's what he's really supposed to be looking at. Crime is rampant in New York. Yesterday in McDonald's, you had a man hitting him up with machetes, a machete. Whoever can imagine even a machete being wielded in a store, in a place where they're eating, and he's going rampant. And Bragg is down watching a trial on what they call crimes. They're falsifying business records. That sounds so bad. To me, it sounds very bad. You know, it's only a misdemeanor, but to me, it sounds so bad. When they say falsifying business, that's a bad thing for me. I've never had that before. I'm falsifying. You know what falsifying business records is? In the first degree. They say falsifying business records. Sounds so good, right? It means that legal expense, I paid a lawyer, totally legal. I paid a lawyer a legal expense. And a bookkeeper, without any knowledge from me, correctly marked it down in the books. A very professional woman, highly respected, she testified. Marked it down in the books as a legal expense. So a legal expense, paid a lawyer, is a legal expense in the books. It's not sheetrock construction, or any other thing. It's a legal expense. Think of that. This is what the falsification of business records were. And I said, what else are you going to call it? What else are you going to call it? Now, I would have testified. I wanted to testify. The theory is you never testify, because as soon as you testify, anybody, if it were George Washington, don't testify, because they'll get you on something that you said slightly wrong, and then they sue you for perjury. But I didn't care about that. I wanted to. But the judge allowed them to go into everything that I was ever involved in, not this case, everything that I was ever involved in, which is a first. In other words, you could go into every single thing that I ever did.
Yeah, the scope of discovery in this case was
there?
absolutely ridiculous.
And my lawyer said, what do you need to go through? And all you wanted to do is testify simply on this case. Because I would have loved to have testified. To this day, I would have liked to have testified. But you would have said something out of whack, like it was a beautiful sunny day and it was actually raining out. And I very much appreciate the big crowd of people outside. That's incredible what's happening. The level of support has been incredible. So the whole thing is legal expense was marked down as legal expense. Think of it. This is the crime that I committed that I'm supposed to go to jail for 187 years for. When you have violent crime all over this city at levels that nobody's ever seen before, where you have businesses leaving, and businesses are leaving because of this, because heads of businesses say, man, we don't want to get involved with that. I could go through the books of any business person in this city, and I could find things that, in theory, I guess, let's indict him, let's destroy his life. But I'm out there, and I don't mind being out there because I'm doing something for this country, and I'm doing something for our Constitution. It's very important, far beyond me. And this can't be allowed to happen to other presidents. It should never be allowed to happen in the future. But this is far beyond me. This is bigger than Trump. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than my presidency.
Ain't that right?
And the people understand it because I just see a poll just came out, the Daily Mail. That was the first one, came out, was done last night right after the verdict, where I'm up 6 points. 6 points from what we already were. We were leading fairly substantially. We're up 6 points in the Daily Mail poll. Now, maybe other polls come out and it says something differently. But a lot of people have predicted it because the public understands, and they understand what's going on.
This is what I said earlier in the stream. They made him a
rigged
martyr.
trial. It shouldn't have been in that venue. We shouldn't have had that judge. He should have allowed us to have an election expert. We had the best expert, most respected expert, head of the Federal Elections Commission. He was all set to testify. He was waiting for 2 days. And when it was his turn, Bragg's people protested. And the judge knocked him out, said you can't testify. He actually said you can't testify for anything having to do with the trial. You can say what the federal elections is. Well, that doesn't help. Everybody knows that. But you can't testify. So essentially, he wasn't able to testify. Other people weren't able to testify. But with these people, they were able to use people salacious. By the way, and nothing ever happened. There was no anything. Nothing ever happened, and they know it. But they were as salacious as they could be, and it had nothing to do with the case. But it had to do with politics. And do you notice the timing? The timing was perfect. This case was dead. It was dropped by every agency, every governmental board. It was dropped by the highly respected Southern District. They said, no, there's no case here. It was dropped by federal election, and that's what it's about. This is about a federal election, not a state election. You're not even allowed to look at it. They took the state and the city, and they went into a federal election. They're not allowed. The people from federal election, Southern District, and Washington dropped the case. Everybody dropped the case. There was no case. Cy Vance dropped the case. And when Bragg came in, he said, this is the most ridiculous case I've ever seen. And who would have a certain person, again, gag order, who would have a certain person like this ever testify? He said, this is essentially one of the worst people I've ever seen ever to testify. He said, the craziest case I've ever seen. This is Bragg. Then when I announced I was running for president, long time later, they decided to revive this case. And they got a judge, Judge Marchand, who was responsible for another case that was also brought. It destroyed the life of a very good man, by the way. Destroyed the life of a very good man who went to prison once, and then they just put him in prison again because they said he lied. He didn't lie. I looked at the statements he made. In fact, he didn't remember something, and they put him in jail. Again, they've destroyed him. With me for many years, he was an honorable person. He was an honest man. And if you look at what he did, supposedly, it never happened. There's never been anything like this. Over the education of his grandchildren. Over, he didn't report that he had a car or 2 cars on his income. I don't know. I wonder how many people here have cars. I wonder how many people said, oh, gee, I have a car that's worth X dollars. How do you even figure it? And I guess you do have to report it, but I would say probably almost nobody does. Nobody even thinks about it. They put this man, they destroyed this man, but they put him in jail again because they didn't want him to testify. They didn't want him to testify. That's why he went to jail. They put him in jail twice. He's 77 years old. Now, normally I'd say that's an old guy, but I don't feel 77. Nobody ever says that about me. I'd like them to say, gee, we have to have a little sorrow for this man, because they just don't say that about
Listen
me.
to
But
how
maybe I'm better off
eloquently
that way. I
Trump
think I'm
speaks
probably better off
compared to
that way. But
Biden.
they put him in jail twice. And you have to see what they put him in jail. And he was threatened by the judge. This man was told, you're going to get 15 years in jail if you don't give up Trump. And he was told that. You're going to get 15 years in jail. And he made a plea deal because he didn't want to spend the rest of his life. And he was told that viciously. We're living in a fascist state. He was told that viciously. So you can go to jail for 4 months, 5 months, or you can get 15 years in jail. So do a plea. Almost who wouldn't do that plea? Everyone does those pleas. It's a horrible thing. There's a whole group of lawyers that fight that. It's so unfair. It's so unfair. But they destroyed his life. So many other things. You look at Southern District didn't want to bring the case. Nobody wanted to bring the case. And then you know who didn't want to bring the case? Most of all is Bragg. Bragg didn't want to bring it. But then he brought it. And they tried to make it a different case. They didn't say legal expense equal legal expense. Again, if I wrote down and paid a lawyer, and by the way, this was a highly qualified lawyer. Now, I'm not allowed to use his name because of the gag order. But, you know, he's a sleazebag. Everybody knows that. Took me a while to find out. But he was effective. He did work. But he wasn't a fixer. He was a lawyer. You know, they like to use the word fixer. He wasn't a fixer. He was a lawyer. At the time, he was a fully accredited lawyer. Now, he got into trouble not because of me. He got into trouble because he made outside deals, and he had something to do with taxi cabs and medallions, and he borrowed money. And that's why he went. And then he pled
Trump
to
can't even use Michael Cohen's name.
Election violations. And as soon as I saw that, I said, I wonder why he did that. He pled. He took a deal. Now, he took a deal because he wanted to get off. In other words, I'll take a plea deal and I want to get off. And he wanted to make a deal with the Southern District. And they wrote the worst report I think I've ever seen on any human being, other than the report that was written on James Comey by the Inspector General, a very great Inspector General, actually. Wrote a report that was so bad. This one was possibly worse. The Southern District, the judge didn't let us use it. He said, it's hearsay. I said, it's not hearsay. Wouldn't let us use it. This is about the man. But he got in trouble for a very simple reason, because he was involved with borrowing a lot of money, and he did something with the banks. I don't know if it's defrauded the banks, but something happened. You guys know what it is. And then in addition to that, he gave up on 3 things where he wasn't guilty. In fact, they were going to testify in that. The head of the FEC, the Brad Smith, the election expert, number one rated in the country, was going to testify. He took a plea on 3 things. He just added them in because that gave him more bargaining power with respect to me. But the 3 things that he pled on, having to do with the election and having to do essentially a little bit with me, they weren't crimes. They weren't crimes. Nor is paying money under an NDA. So we have an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. It's a big deal, a non-disclosure agreement. Totally honorable, totally good, totally accepted. Everybody has them. Every company has non-disclosure agreements. But the press called it slush fund and all sorts of other things. Hush money, hush money. It's not hush money. It's called a non-disclosure agreement. And most of the people in this room have a non-disclosure agreement with their company. It's a disgrace. So it's not hush money. It's a non-disclosure agreement, totally legal, totally common. Everyone has it. And what happened is he signed a non-disclosure agreement with this person, I guess other people, but it's totally honest. You're allowed to make the payment. You don't have to make it. You can make it any way you want. It's a non-disclosure agreement. And he signed that. And there was nothing wrong with signing it. And this should have been a non-case. And everybody said it was a non-case, including Bragg. Bragg said, until I ran for office. And then they saw the polls. I was leading the Republicans. I was leading the Democrats. I was leading everybody. And all of a sudden, they brought it back. It's a very sad thing that's happening in our country. And it's a thing that I'm honored. In a way, I'm honored. It's not that it's pleasant. It's very bad for family. It's very bad for friends and businesses. But I'm honored to be involved in it because somebody has to do it. And I might as well keep going and be the one. But I'm very honored to be involved because we're fighting for our Constitution. The money that was paid legally. There was nothing illegal. In fact, the lawyer in creating the NDA, because at that time he was a fully accredited lawyer. He wasn't a fixer. I never thought of him as a fixer. The media called him a fixer, or the prosecutors called him a fixer. He was a lawyer, and he was fairly good. Later on, I didn't like what he did. I didn't like, for instance, I didn't like that when I became president, he went around and made deals with companies. When I heard that, he was gone. He was gone. And he had payments coming to him, and a lot of this involved things that are very simple. There was nothing wrong. This was standard stuff, all standard stuff. Everything involved was standard. There was no crime here. In fact, I just watched a couple of the reports. You watched Jonathan Turley, Andy McCarthy, Greg Jarrett. You look at all of these people, Mark Levin, all very talented people, great people, many more. And they don't know me, essentially. They don't know me. They're legal scholars and experts. But I look at them. I watched Turley this morning saying, there's no crime here. Everybody says there's no crime here, except for this DA that's got the city out of control with crime. It's absolutely out of control. So we have an NDA that was signed. We have legal expenses. And here's the thing, on legal expenses, you have
I am actually trying
100 where they say they do a charge.
keep
I just
my,
recorded this out.
my energy levels
Falsification
up.
of business
I'm falling
records
asleep here, chat.
in the first degree. It sounds so bad. I said, wow.
Not because of his speech.
And
or
even my own
anything. It's
lawyers,
good. It's my
get very
meds
upset
are
with
kicking
them
my
because
ass.
they don't say what it is. They say, well, falsification of legal records is only a felony. Well, that's a lot. Is only they say a misdemeanor. But they try and bring it up to a felony if there's 2 crimes. They have all these different things. The other thing is they missed the statute of limitations by a lot because this was very old. They could have brought this 7 years ago instead of bringing it right in the middle of the election. So they missed the statute of limitations. They did everything. Now, let me give you the good news. The good news is last night, we just got a report this morning, in the history of politics, I believe, maybe I'm wrong, somebody will find that I'm wrong, maybe, but I don't think so. They raised with small money donors, meaning like $21,
This is where
$42,
Trump's website is.
$53, $38,
completely died.
a record $39 million in about a 10-hour period.
That's amazing.
No, think of that. I like those people. Because so far, I guess it's backfired. Now, I don't know. I'd rather not have it happen. I don't want to have it backfire. I don't want to win this thing legitimately, not because they were stupid and did things that they shouldn't be doing. They shouldn't have brought this case. They were saying it this morning. This is a case that should not have been brought. I watched Andy
even
McCarthy
CNN,
say this is a case that should
MSNBC,
not have been
all
brought.
of the major news stations said the
And
same
that was
thing.
this morning. But they all say that. Every legal scholar has said it. And these are great people. They really understand the law. The other thing, a poll just came out. The first poll, I don't know, maybe others will be bad. But a poll just came out a little while ago. The Daily Mail. Does anybody read the Daily Mail? It's very good. They have a good poll. At least I like it today. And the Daily Mail just came out with a poll, and it has Trump up 6 points in the last 12 hours. 6 points. 6 points since this happened. Who thought this could happen? Because the people of our country know it's a hoax. They know it's a hoax. They get it. You know, they're really smart, and it's really something. So we're going to be appealing this scam. We're going to be appealing it on many different things. He wouldn't allow us to have witnesses. He wouldn't allow us to talk. He wouldn't allow us to do anything. The judge was a tyrant. And you got to see that with Bob Costello. A fine man. I've never seen anything like it. And neither has anybody that was in that courthouse where he demanded that the courthouse be cleared. Now, the good news is most of the people in the courthouse were the media. And anybody that was in the media, if you're fair, you'll say, wow. That was anger. That was crazed. He was crazed. And the reason that Bob Costello acted a little bit upset, which I think he has a right to, was that every question he was being asked was being objected to by the other side and sustained by the judge. Sustained. I think he did it many times. I don't know what the number, many times. Even I was sitting there saying, and these were basic questions. And I never saw anybody treated that way by a judge. And I've been treated very badly by two other judges also, because it's all the same thing. And it all comes out of the White House. Crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country. He's the worst president in the history of our country. The most incompetent. He's the dumbest president we've ever had. He's the dumbest president, most incompetent president. And he's the most dishonest president we've ever had. And so many of he's a Manchurian candidate. You take a look at the way he treats China,
Manchurian candidate.
Russia, so many others. You know, I ended the Russian pipeline. It was dead. He comes in and he approves it. And he gets $3.5 million, meaning $3.5 million is paid to the family, his family, from the mayor of Moscow's wife. And I said, where did that come from? Nobody wants to talk about it. But he's a very big danger to our country. And the only way they think they can win this election is by doing exactly what they're doing right now. Win it in the courts because they can't win it at the ballot box. So we're going to show them that, we're going to fight. It's actually, I don't know, it's something where I'm wired in such a way that a lot of people would have gone away a long time ago. They would have gone away after impeachment hoax number 1. That was a total hoax. I had great support from the Republican Party, though. Then you had impeachment hoax number 2. And then they formed the committee. How about they formed the committee of thugs, the J6 committee of thugs. And they took their records and they destroyed all of the records after the committee was abandoned, because those records were great for us. Now, can you imagine if Republicans did that? Everybody would have been in jail by now.
People tend to forget that, everybody. The January 6th committee destroyed their records.
I call it the unselect. They call it
by
select
law,
committee. I call
they
it
are
the unselect committee of
mandated
thugs.
to hand those over to the National Archive.
It's 100% Democrat and 2 past Republicans that are no
the
longer
Congressional
Republicans,
Library.
are no longer in business anymore.
Yeah, they
Thank you.
destroyed them.
But it was all Democrats and two wayward Republicans, Liz Cheney and crying Adam Kinzinger. He cries every time he goes on television. He's the most emotional human being I think I've ever seen. And that was our representatives. These two people were our rep. So they had all this stuff that they're leaking. And then when it came time to look at the records, like where the police said and the Capitol Guard said that I supplied, think of it, that I recommended as many soldiers or National Guard as you want. 10,000. If you had 500, you wouldn't have had a problem. There wouldn't have been a J6. But Nancy Pelosi and the group didn't want it. Anyway, so they have testimony to all of that, that I did not attack the Secret Service agent in the front of a car. You know, these are strong people. And I supposedly went to the driver, and I grabbed him around the neck. And he rebuffed me, and then I went to the other guy, who I think is a black belt in karate, and he's slightly younger than me, maybe 35 years, 40 years, 50 years. And I grabbed him around the neck and said, he's a black belt in karate. They know how to get somebody from around their neck. They would have gone like this, and that would be the end of that. Actually, I had a friend that said, you shouldn't dispute that. That makes you look like the toughest cookie we've ever seen. You should have let that go on. But the fact is, it never happened. It was all made up. And that was proven to be made up. It proved to be a false story. And they deleted and destroyed all of that information, every ounce of it. We're dealing with a corrupt government. We have a corrupt country. Our elections are corrupt. Our borders are open. Our borders are going to be closed very soon. November 5th is going to be the most important day in the history of our country. Now, when I say that, because my people are always saying, do this, because we're fighting for America, DonaldJTrump.com. I hope everybody watching right now, DonaldJTrump.com, because it really makes a difference. They have a lot of money on the other side. I don't know where they get it. Nobody knows where they get it. But for some reason, they get money. But they're not on the side of our country. In many ways, I think they hate our country. Who on earth can want open borders where people are allowed to pour in from countries unknown, from places unknown, from languages that we haven't even heard of? We have people sitting in schools with languages where very few people have ever even heard of these languages. It's not like Spanish or French or Russian. Languages unknown. We have people coming from corners of the globe, and many of them are not good people. Many terrorists, record levels of terrorism, record levels of terrorists have come into our country. Record. They've never seen anything like it. You know, there was a report that in 2019, I don't believe this, by the way, the media gave it, and it was good for me, believe it or not. They said in 2019, there were no terrorists recorded that came into our country. I don't believe that. I don't think that's possible. But 2019 was a Trump year. I don't believe that that could be possible. But they said no terrorists came into our country. So let's say it was close. Let's say it was close. But now record levels of terrorists, record levels, the highest level we've ever seen of terrorists, are pouring into our country. You have China with, just in the last few months, 29,000 people came in, and I looked at them on a line, and they look like perfect soldiers. They're almost all male, from 19 to 25. It looks like a recruiting exercise. They have beautiful tents. They have propane stoves. They have cell phones, the best you can buy. I said, what's going on? It looks like they're building an army right in our country. Now, I don't think that would happen, right? We're losing our country. And I really think that this is an event, what took place yesterday with this judge. Look, we have conflicted, but he's a crooked judge, and you'll understand that. And I say that knowing that it's very dangerous for me to say that, and I don't mind. because I'm willing to do whatever I have to do to save our country and to save our Constitution. I don't mind. So thank you. So we will continue the fight. We're going to make America great again. Very simple. When people fight MAGA, they say, we're going to fight. I watch Biden. We're going to fight MAGA. We're going to stop MAGA. It's make America great again. That's all it is. MAGA. Make America great again. Our country's in serious trouble. We owe $36 trillion. We were energy independent for the first time ever, and now we're begging Venezuela for oil. One statistic you have to hear. Venezuela was crime-ridden. Caracas, the cities, crime-ridden. 2 years ago, 3 years ago. They just reported a 72% drop in crime in the last year because all of their criminals, most of them, and the rest are coming in now, the ones that didn't come in. In Venezuela, their prisons have been emptied into the United States. Their criminals and drug dealers have been taken out of the cities and brought into the United States. And that's true with many other countries. The Congo has just released a lot of people from jail. Congo, Africa, just released a lot of people from their prisons and jails and brought them into the United States of America. This is what's happening to our country. And it's not sustainable by anyone. Little things like our kids can't have a Little League game anymore because you have tents and you have migrants living on the fields. That's the least of it. People are taking over our luxury hotels, migrants, and yet our veterans, our great veterans, are living on the streets. Like dogs, they're living on the streets. But migrants are living in luxury hotels in cities all over our country, run by Democrats. So it's my honor to be doing this. It really is. It's a very unpleasant thing, to be honest. But it's a great, great honor. We're gonna do what I have to do. I'm gonna do it, and the support has been. That's why I mentioned the number of $39 million. That's why I mentioned we're up 6 points. And we went up a lot over the last month because everybody saw it was a rigged deal. It was a rigged trial. But we're going to make America great again. We're going to make it better than ever before. November 5th, remember, November 5th is the most important day in the history of our country. Thank you very much, everybody.
There we go, everybody. You guys have it. That's what the Trump says. Right then and there. Let's go ahead and stop that. So, yeah. There we go. That was Donald Trump's press conference. We all knew it was going to go down. Complete corruption, complete just Nimrodicy, complete crap. And we're going to play my song once more, and then we're going to fade out and then pick up the stream a little bit later on today. This is what I wanted to show you guys this morning, to talk about a little bit, and we will have an open panel later. Right now, I'm going to play this and then go to bed for an hour. I am literally struggling to stay awake right now, stay asleep. Holy shit. So enjoy it, and I will catch you guys on the flip side in a few hours.
Yo, it's Captain Curran, back on the beat. Talking about a travesty, justice ain't sweet. In the city of dreams where the skyline's gritty, Trump got convicted, New York City. Election interference, man, it's all a scam. Corrupt judge on the stand, they don't give a damn. Prosecution crooked, they playing their games. Paid off jurors, ain't nobody sane. They say justice blind, but I see through the lies. Courtroom drama. drama got the publicized. Behind closed doors, dirty deals get struck. Ain't no fair trial, man, we all stuck. Captain Kern on the mic, I'm calling it out. Corruption in the system, that's what it's about. Justice for the people, we need it right now. Stand up, speak loud, we ain't taking no bow.
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Hit all notifications because you're going to want to be notified when I'm live. YouTube doesn't always show my schedule live in a timely manner. And please follow me over on Twitter. If you are over there, I appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful morning. What's left of it. And we will catch you in a few hours.
Stand up, speak loud, we ain't taking no bow. The city streets to the courthouse steps. Truth's a casualty, justice slept. We gotta rise up, break these chains, expose the lies and the games. Silence us, keep us in the dark. But Captain Kern's here, igniting that spark. We see the corruption, we see the deceit. Time to take a stand, we ain't facing defeat. Election interference, dirty money flows. Behind those walls, only the wicked knows. Trump's conviction, a smoke and mirror show in the heart of the city where shadows grow. Captain Kern on the mic, I'm calling it out. Corruption in the system is what it's about. Justice for the people, we need it right now. Stand up, speak loud, we ain't taking no bow. So here we are, standing tall against the corruption, breaking the wall with Captain Kern. We lead the fight for truth and justice day and night.
Thank you all for being here.
Here we are, standing tall against the corruption, breaking the wall with Captain Kern. We lead the fight for truth and justice day and night.
Whether it's a Democrat, a Republican, a liberal, a conservative, an independent, or anybody else, we fight for justice on this channel. I may play a lot of stupid crap and have a lot of fun on here, but my main purpose is to make sure justice is served in a proper and fair and just manner. And as we have witnessed over the last few months, Donald Trump got a screw job that didn't feel good. That said, everybody, have a wonderful morning. I will see you in a few hours. Have a great one. Later.